driving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Didn't work. If you're joining me, it didn't work. This is still the old one. Stuff gets so frustrating sometimes. Ugh. When you do this stuff, there's all these little nuances that affect everything else. And, yeah. I mean, it could be the reason it didn't stream because I'm not on the right plan, for all I know. Want what I want. So I'm gonna give it a try, probably again tomorrow. I'm too frustrated with it now. So this stuff's not as easy as you think. So I appreciate everybody's patience. Even just this right here takes about 10 minutes to set up. For most folks, it takes me about 3 minutes. But you got to get everything down. So it's frustrating when, like when chat wasn't working, right? In a lot of other places, that may not be a big deal. But here, it's a big deal. Because people like to participate. And when their chat doesn't pop up, they get kind of frustrated. Ooh, I got a tummy ache. I'll be right back. Give me 15 seconds. Okay. I am back. Oh, I'm going to take drugs online. Oh, no. Zofran. You're kidding. I have no idea where I went. Oh, I got lucky. Zofran is tummy medicine. It's a miracle worker, too. All right. So, a great paradox. The paradox that I can't go live anywhere else but here. So, and I am working on getting more listeners. What page am I reading from here? 151 in the 12 by 12. Yes, okay. Gotta double check. And it'd be pretty neat. I'm meeting with a couple people here shortly. Looking forward to it. Bobby and her name is Mel. They were both on the OA podcast, which people should really check out. They really should check it out. And what they want to do is they want to put together a podcast for women in recovery, helping women. Absolutely, I'll help with that. Guess what? You ain't going to be a part of any of it. I ain't a woman. I don't need to be. And I really don't care if people use my stuff. It's what it's there for. It's what it's there for. You know, if you ever want to come on and talk, let me know. We'll do it. Okay. So we're in tradition 5, which is kind of neat. Stomach ache, gone. Ooh, we got 6 people here. All right. Welcome, Daily Trudge. That's a huge number for Dion. Just kidding. If you're here, welcome to the Daily Trudge. My name is Dion, and I'm your host. Oh, that two people took off. And if you're here, please say hello. That counter hasn't worked for years, so I don't know. Because there's times when I'll have like 4 people talking, it'll say 0. So I don't even know anymore. But what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a great paradox. What the great paradox is in this portion, I'm not sure, but we are going to find out. Because this was supposed to be a test for my other one, and it didn't work. And I'm very frustrated with it. Patricia, it's good to see you. I like your picture. All right. So I'm just going to start. There's another reason. Okay, so we're in tradition 5, so I want to read the tradition. Right? Each group has but one primary purpose: to carry its message to the alcoholic who still suffers. Okay. This is just lining up great. Yesterday, I was talking to my friend Stacy. I think I talked about this earlier too. Right? And I told her, and it happened to me again today. I went to a noon meeting, and the topic was it was pretty much war stories, and I didn't even know what to say. They're like, yeah, I used to drink this much. I have no idea how much I used to drink. I have no idea. I didn't keep track. I do know that I had to be careful on how much alcohol was around. We went from 6 to 2. That shit hurts. Then if you're not going to stick around, then don't even pop in, man. Not today. Okay. And so I was talking to my friend Stacy yesterday, and she brought up a great point. She said, Dion, those meetings are for newcomers. You're not a newcomer. And that it stuck. Yeah, I go to meetings for newcomers. If there's not a newcomer there, then I'm hoping that we're at least talking about like 10, 11, and 12, not war stories. There's a great chance to talk about step 10. But we don't do that. Is it okay to bring up step 10 in a newcomers meeting? Yeah. You don't think they're going to get to step 10 eventually? It's just me talking. That's it. All right. So, and so I heard what she said, and it made some of the things that I'm doing even more important. It looks like it might be this Tuesday, but my friend Amber and I, she was just on. Fantastic story. I love Amber. She's a young person in the program, and I just love the way she does stuff. Right? And we need people like this. We need these younger generations. We need these people. So we're starting a big book study. Okay. And it's going to be on Tuesdays at 6:30. And it's going to be for newcomers. It's also an all recovery meeting, which means anybody can attend. Anybody can attend it. Now, we are going to be reading out of the big book, and I am a big book thumper. Okay. When it comes to big book studies, you got to have a lead. And I'm most likely going to be the lead in the beginning. But it is my hope at some point that I relinquish all control of that meeting. I've done it before. There are meetings out there that I helped start that are still going. So what? I don't go to those meetings and tell them that, though. I don't. I talk about it here. Talked about it the other day how I was one of the only original. Chris and I are actually the only 2 original members left. Do you know that, Chris? Bill's Brown Baggers. You and I are the only ones left from that original meeting. Wow. And I was there to help start it. Let's make that clear. I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. Okay. but it was Chet, me, Chris, Terry was there, Orson was there, Joe Burke was there, Don P was there. I remember. I miss Orson. Orson's so awesome. That's why they named him Orson. I just figured out why my son named his son Orson. I just figured it out. Wow. Okay. There's another reason for this singleness of purpose. It is the great paradox of AA that we know we can seldom keep the precious gift of sobriety unless we give it away. You got to give it away. I do too. I was reminiscing the other day and started to cry a little bit. I miss Chet so much. So much. I'm ready to cry right now. Out of everybody, Chet's. He did so many things. I miss all my old friends. All right. It's hard to read this with. Hold on. I'm not crying. I just got something in my eye. There we go. Okay. If a group of doctors possessed a cancer cure, they might be conscience stricken if they failed their mission through self seeking. Yet such a failure wouldn't jeopardize their personal survival. Not true for us, though. For us, if we neglect those who are still sick, if we neglect them, I'm going to tell you what happens. There is an unremitting danger to our own lives and sanity. I get more and more and more, and my cup filleth over. I've got to give it away. That you cannot let your cup start overflowing, man. No, give it away. Give it away with nothing in return. You are getting something in return. You're staying sober. See, sponsoring others isn't about keeping them sober. You're helping them achieve sobriety, but it's about keeping you sober so that you can be helpful to the next person. I just got a thing from my sponsee. Well, I keep telling you're not supposed to sponsor yet, but he keeps doing it. He's like, I got this guy and he's frustrating me because he doesn't want to follow the program and he keeps using drugs. And I told him, never work harder than the client. And I told him, you're going to have to let him know that when you are actually ready, you need to give me a call and you need to move on. That's going to be hard for him to do. It's going to be his first time doing that. Okay. It isn't easy to do that. I never want to drop anybody. Okay. I've never fired a sponsee ever. I've never let a client go ever. I just haven't. There's no need to. All right, let's get to a story here. Highlighting the wisdom of AA single purpose, a member tells his story. Restless one day, I felt I'd better do some 12-step work. Maybe I should take out some insurance against a slip, but first, I'd have to find a drunk to work on. Here's our problem. We don't think like this anymore. And we got to start seeing, this whole thing whittled down to Patricia and Chris. It makes me wonder, do I just bring up stuff that people just don't agree with that much? And I'm not, this isn't self-pity. I'm actually wondering, am I so controversial or am I just boring? I know I'm not boring. I find myself very entertaining. So laugh at that. That's ego. That's me fucking around. But I do wonder, am I not being cheerleady enough? Or because I don't cheerlead. I don't cheerlead. And maybe that's it. I don't know. And I'm honestly just curious. I don't have any emotions around it right now. I'm too busy feeling bad about my friends. So restless, better. So I hopped on the subway to Town's Hospital where I asked Dr. Silkworth if he had a prospect. Nothing too promising. I love this story. The little doc said, "There's just one chap on the third floor who might be a possibility, but he's an awfully tough Irishman. What a great day." And it's happy St. Patrick's Day. Okay, here it is. Here's your St. Patty story. If I would have practiced before, I would have done this in an Irish accent, but I didn't. So I never saw a man so obstinate. He shouts that if his partner would treat him better and his wife would leave him alone, he'd soon solve his alcohol problem. He's had a bad case of DTs and he's pretty foggy and he's very suspicious of everyone. Doesn't sound too good, does it? But working with him may do something for you. So why don't you go have a go at it? Okay. So with the doctor, he is not willing. Wife, not willing. Partner, not willing. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. I was soon sitting beside a big hulk of a man, decidedly unfriendly. He stared at me out of eyes which were slits in his red and swollen face. I had to agree with the doctor. He certainly didn't look good. But I told him my own story. I explained what a wonderful fellowship we had, how well we understood each other. I bore down hard on the hopelessness of the drunk's dilemma. I insisted that few drunks could ever get well on their own steam, but that in our groups we could do together what we could not do separately. He interrupted to scoff at this and asserted he'd fix his wife, his partner, and his alcoholism by himself. Sarcastically, he asked, "How much does your scheme cost?" You best be ready for these questions, too. Okay? You best be. Oh, I got plenty of time. You best be ready to answer these questions. Because as alcoholics and addicts, and for me, everybody always wanted something from me, and I hated it. Stop bugging me. Leave me alone. That's what I used to tell people. I know I'm an alcoholic, and right, there's nothing worse than an alcoholic that knows he's an alcoholic and pulls out the "I'm just not willing" card. Be ready for that. It's a trick. I'm just not willing, because they know if they say that to most people, they'll go away. I'm a salesperson. I was a salesperson for a long time. I'm not going to go away after that one. Well, I'm unwilling. And I actually had that once. Right? I was working at Detox. This is when I was in my 20s. And this guy was coming in and out all the time. He'd always told me, "Well, I'm not willing." It was his trick. And I said, "You know what? I understand you're not willing, but you're wasting my time. And you understand that, right?" "Yeah, I get it." "So I'm tired of seeing your face here. I'm tired of it. So if I see you back here within a week, you're going to treatment. Period." And I wrote up a fake contract. I put it in his file. Things were done electronically then. He had no idea. And he signed it too. It was back 3 days later. I put him in treatment. He went. He went. I don't know what happened after. I have no idea. I don't need to. All right. How much does your scheme cost? I was thankful I could tell him nothing at all. It's $1 a day. His next question: what are you getting out of it? And it's not $1 a day, guys. It's just I'm having fun. Of course, my answer was my own sobriety and a mighty happy life. Still dubious, he demanded, "Do you really mean the only reason you are here is to try and help me and to help yourself?" "Yes," I said. "That's absolutely all there is to it. There's no angle." Then hesitantly, You know what's coming up next, right? God. Then hesitantly, I ventured to talk about the spiritual side of our program. What a phrase that drunk gave me. I'd no sooner got the word spiritual out of my mouth than he pounced. Oh, he said, now I get it. You're proselytizing for some damn religious sect or other. Wouldn't you feel that way? I would. Where do you get that no angle stuff? I belong to a great church, and that means everything to me. You've got nerve to come in here and talking religion. Gotta be careful here. Gotta be careful here. Okay? I usually ask. Okay? I don't bring it up. That's how I bring it up. So the first time I'm talking with my sponsee, I will ask, how do you feel about God? There is no wrong answer. Just tell me your thoughts on it. That's it. And then that's going to give me an idea where they stand. Right? And if they believe in a God or something, I'm going to reinforce that. You know what? You probably know more than I do. I've never even read the Bible. I haven't. I've never read the Bible. I tried. It's probably one of those things that I got to do it with somebody else, right? Right. Say, Kevin, I came up with the right answer for that one. It was based foursquare on the single purpose of AA. You have faith, I said. Perhaps far deeper faith than mine. No doubt you are better taught in religious matters than I, so I can't tell you anything about religion. I don't even want to try. I'll bet, too, that you could give me a letter-perfect definition of humility. But from what you've told me about yourself and your problem and how you propose to lick them, I think I know what's wrong. Okay, he said, give me the business. It's probably my favorite line in the 12 by 12. Well, I said, I think you're just a conceited Irishman who thinks he can run the whole show. This really shocked him. But he calmed down. He began to listen while I tried to show him that humility was the main key of sobriety. Finally, he saw that I wasn't attempting to change his religious views, that I wanted him to find the grace in his own religion, and that would aid his recovery. From there, we got along fine. What a fun story. All right. And it was an Irishman, so there you go. Everybody's Irish today, right? The great paradox of AA is that I know I cannot keep the precious gift of sobriety unless I give it away. I know of no other way. I know of no other way for long-term sobriety. Right? And there's definitions of long-term sobriety. In AA, old-timers are considered 10 plus. That's an AA. So I consider long-time sobriety 10 plus years. That's my opinion. And that's all it is. Okay. Does that mean I think that a year isn't a big deal? Oh, it's a bigger deal than 10 years. Okay. But I don't like hiding behind things like, my name's Dion and I'm a person in long-term recovery. What does that mean? And I just feel like I would be hiding behind my time. Because long-term to you may be different than me. All right. And time means shit. Doesn't mean nothing. It means you have that much time. That's all it means. My primary purpose is to stay sober. In AA, I have no other goal. And the importance of this is a matter of life or death for me. If I veer from this purpose, I lose. But AA is not only for me, it is for the alcoholic who still suffers. The legions of recovering alcoholics stay sober by sharing with fellow alcoholics. The way to my recovery is to show others in AA that when I share with them, we both grow in the grace of a higher power and both of us on the road to a happy destiny. Let's put Trudge in there. And both of us as we trudge the happy road of destiny. That's how I was supposed to say it. I'm saying it that way because it's got Trudge in it. That's my business. Yep, a year is a huge deal, but 2 years are better. what do we always say? Like, I'm coming up on 7 years, so the 8th year's the hardest. Next year's always the hardest. It's a running joke in AA that's not told anymore. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Chris and Patricia. We had some people coming in and out. Looks like we got a couple people here too, but thank you, everybody, for being here. I love you. Peace out and go.